Hello guys, I'm looking at two cameras, but I'm gonna focus my attention on this one. How are we? I'm taking the mask off. There's no one here at Latitude Talent Studios. I've been tested 3 times in the past week and a half, but I've been traveling and I'm still negative for the Rona. Yes, how are we? Oh my God, yes, hello, how are we? Helen, hello friend. John Gucci, love the name. Naya Cruz. Wow, I can't read all your names, but I am so happy you're here with me. Thank you for being here. Hello everyone. I don't want to wave at you even though I'm waving at you, because if I do I might knock the phone off and it's kind of doing a balancing act because my phone's gonna die. Not this camera, the other camera, this one. Okay, so what's up? We're still alive. Hey Diamond, love the angel. We are still in a pandemic. It is getting tiring, but we need to stay strong because it's not gonna last forever. And I don't know about you, but it feels like for me, at least the industry is bouncing back a little. Like, I feel that I have some self-tapes happening, which are auditions that you do at home. Hey, Brianna. So I feel good about it. Like, you know, it's a new year, it's a new month. It's still super cold, love the hearts. Super cold in New York. Like, I'm freezing, but I'm bundling up with my coat, got my scarf, my gloves, you know, all of the above. But yeah, I'm really happy to be here with you guys. I haven't been in the studio since July, which is crazy. Thank you so much. It's a new sweater. I got it for Christmas. So I'm happy to be here. Since July, I was recording some things. The offices are right in the theater district here in Times Square area, as you can hear. Sirens. We're on 545 8th Avenue. So if you have any questions about that, you can contact Latitude. You know, who are we? What are we doing? What's going on? Hello, David. So today we're going to be talking about alternative modeling, diversity in the modeling industry, which is a great topic, very relevant right now. I don't know if you can hear me. Should I speak louder or the sirens super loud? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you can still hear me or if I should wait like 2 minutes. Can you hear them? This is New York. You know, I feel like in New York we lose our hearing from just living here because it's so loud. But it's okay. So, if you guys have any questions, please write them in the chat so I can totally address them. Thank you. You can hear me. Amazing. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, you had a shoot here. Amazing. Was great. Yes, Frenchie. Oh my God, is that a dog? I love French bulldogs. Okay, thank you so much. Making sure you guys can hear me. So, last time I was here, we were still living in a pandemic. It was July and it was 2 months before I broke my leg. Yeah, you heard that right. So I actually broke my leg in September in 3 places, biking around the corner, really exciting. And I just started getting back to my active life, you know, going to the gym, recovering, all of that. So I was recording some videos at home, but I really do love being in person here at the studio with the lights. It's just so much better. The vibe is like, get you on track. You know, I'm not really one to like work from home, but I wanted to talk about alternative modeling, diversity, hello, in the modeling industry. So if you have any questions, write them in the chat and we're gonna get into it. All right, so I have a few topics that I want to talk about. So what is alternative or diverse modeling, or what are these topics? What are these words? So hello, Andreas. There are a lot of different topics and words being tossed around in casting right now, like diverse, ethnically ambiguous, pan-Asian, pan-African, whatever. Pan just means everything. White, black, BIPOC. That's a new one that came out basically out of the BLM relaunch of the movement this past summer. BIPOC is BIPOC, which means Black Indigenous People of Color. Yes, that's long, but it basically means anyone who's African American or Black, Caribbean, however you want to identify it, or people of color, meaning like if you're Asian, if you're Black, if you're Hispanic, if you're Native American, Indigenous Native American. So it basically means anyone who's a minority, which is great. Hi, my Instagram native international friend, hello. So yeah, so diversity in the modeling and acting industry. So you have to know what the word BIPOC means. That's a huge one being tossed around all the time. You got to know the terminology. You don't want to be like, hey, what's that mean? Do I fit in that category? You want to know your type. You want to know where you fit in the industry. And yeah, I know we still are in this pandemic. I know I said it like 3 times because it's really tiring. But you know, it's not going to last forever, like I said, and we are going to bounce back. And I've been getting a few more auditions recently. I don't know what's going on outside, but it's New York. More sirens. Hello, how are you? Thank you, ambulance. Thank you, healthcare. Okay, and we're back. I hope you can still see me. Sorry, we got a phone call, but he's gonna have to wait. Okay, so yeah, so ethnically ambiguous basically means that you can play in ethnicities that are ambiguous, meaning it's hard to describe because it's been tossed around more recently about like how to categorize ethnically ambiguous, and it basically can mean anything. It just means ambiguous, which means, not sure what they are. What are they? Like, for example, my type is hello, Kiana, is ethnically ambiguous. So I could play different ethnicities, even if I'm not those ethnicities. But for right now in the industry, since things are changing with like, race and all of these things, this is being talked about more, where it's like, can a Korean person play someone who is fully Asian? Is that ethical? But still considered ethnically ambiguous. So it's all kind of like murky waters, if you will. It's a little interesting. Multi-ethnic, non-specific, like Victoria Justice. Yes, thank you for this specific example. Love a specific example. If you can't make the audition, can you get it rescheduled? Great question. I will address it. I'm going to write that down. Odd reschedule. I'm going to address your question. Hugh Suave 2X. I got you. I love these usernames. I always love people's usernames. Reminds me of like AIM. Remember AIM? AIM, like mine was like Sophia, which is like still my thing, so whatever. XOXO Crystal 13. Yes. MFM 7775. Sounds like a phone number. It's Brianna 14. Me too. Love it. So, multi-ethnic, biracial. These are all different things. Yes, I love the heart emoji. These are all things that basically mean that you can fit in multiple categories. So like when you have boxes to check, which I always hate checking boxes, I've never fit in one in my life. Hashtag mixed. Okay, so you check boxes like, are you white Hispanic? Are you white non-Hispanic? Are you Asian? Are you African American? Are you indigenous? Are you Arabic? There's so many different categories. There's so many different types of people. So it's a little tricky, because if you want to check multiple boxes, but they only give you one option, it's a little like, well, where do I fit in, And that's the thing that needs to be changed, that is changing slowly in the industry, where people are getting more like momentum of, oh, we have a whole category of people that don't fit in any one of these individual boxes, and we need to think about them because those are equal people, just like people who are one ethnicity, right? Right. Like if you're black and white, if you're white and Asian, if you're Native American and black, if you're Hispanic and black, if you're white and Hispanic, if you're, Asian and Hispanic. These are all really cool mixes, and in my opinion, mixed people are the coolest people, but I mix, so of course I'm gonna say that because I'm hella biased. Thank you. Anyway, great topic to be discussing. Thank you. We're gonna get into it, as we are right now. So, we have to address these things because the industry's changing. We're trying, not me, but the casting industry is trying to get more people of different races and ethnicities in the public eye, in the award shows, the writers, for example, we need to stop seeing stereotypes being written about, and being acted. Like for example, if you think about an Asian character that you've seen, like for example, the movie Crazy Rich Asians was like a really big deal in the Asian community because people who were Asian saw people who were not just smart people who do math, literally, on screen of different types of walks of life. There was rich Asians, Crazy Rich Asians. There was poor Asians. What is the movie? Parasite. That was an amazing movie, and it showed different types of class systems. It didn't just show someone who was, the smart kid in class. It showed someone who was a janitor. It showed someone who was a businessman. It showed different people, like the women, all of those things. You don't speak English, you're from Argentina. Well, we're gonna have to get some closed captions. I don't speak fluent Spanish, but it's okay. That's all right. We can translate. We'll figure it out. Hello, Rick. What's up? So, we have to remember that we can't keep stereotyping people and letting them only be represented on the screen. Sabina, I did not see your question. Please write it again. Thank you. So, like, if you look at the Oscars and if you look at, award shows, there was some, controversy a few years ago called Oscars So White, because the Oscars were just full of white people being nominated and being writers. Another thing to do with the writers is a lot of the writers are just white old men. There's not that many women, and there's not that many women who are not white. So this is like a whole thing. It goes deep levels, a deep systematic racism is a problem. There's so many things that we need to do. Reschedule the shoots. I'm going to get to that, Crystal, don't worry. So we have to remember, we have to remember that we have to change the current casting and know our type. But in order to change the casting, we have to know who we are, so we know what we do when we walk into the room, or we do a Zoom audition. Thanks, Rona. Whatever it is. We have to know that we walk into the room where they're like, okay, because they can ask you how old you are, or what ethnicity are you? So they're really asking you is this, casting. They're asking you, what ethnicities do you play and what's your age range? So what does that mean? Basically, no one's actually allowed to ask you in the acting world how old you actually are, or what ethnicities you are. You know, it's interesting in like other employments, you write that on the paper, the demographics, all of those things. But in this industry, it's all about what you play to the public eye for casting. So for example, like I would say my age range, it normally should span no more than 10 years. I actually recently, I don't have any kids, I'm young, but I just recently played my first mom in a Minute Maid commercial, which is really funny because I don't have kids, and this little girl who played my daughter was like not that much of an age difference than my actual age, and that was funny. Does weight matter? Good question, we're gonna talk about that. Very good question. So it was interesting because, oh, I dropped the phone. It was interesting because I don't think I could play a mom, but according to this casting, I could. And that was funny because I don't see myself as like mom looking, but what even does a mom look like? You know, no one knows, it's all subjective. The whole industry is subjective. My lip gloss is a lipstick that's matte. Okay, great. So, we have to remember who we can play and go out for the roles that are appropriate for us. And knowing your type is very important. So what is your type? So one type we have is ethnically ambiguous, meaning you can play on a multitude of races, and the age range, knowing like your age range, oh, is it 18 to 25, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about alternative, now in the casting, there's been a lot of push for real people casting. I'm not necessarily a fan of it because it doesn't really have to do with talent or being an actor. It's actually to do with real people casting. So like, for example, someone who actually is a person who works as a nurse, and they're casting real nurses. So they're not casting people who can play a nurse. And that's an example of real people casting. So you have to watch out for that. Don't go after real people casting if you don't actually fit in that thing. Like I saw one, for example, recently that was like women who work in finance who own a small business. So meaning you should not go after a role if you actually are not a woman of finance who has a small business. If it says this is a real person casting, we only want people who actually are this, then don't go after it because it'll make you look crazy, and then you're gonna be like, wait, I don't belong here. So only go after roles that you actually belong to. So knowing what you belong to. So for example, I have freckles, okay, as we can see. Hold on, official Genya. We don't want to have bullying on social media. We're not gonna have nasty comments. Okay, great. Thank you that I addressed that. Thank you so much, Anu. Okay, so, I have freckles, and it's not really a skin condition. It's just part of my skin. I have fair skin, but I do get some color when I tan. So this actually, I don't understand why, but this is considered like a feature of mine. I just think it's part of my skin. But freckles have become more of a mainstream thing now, where people are drawing on freckles, and it looks kind of cool. So I don't really understand that. I think it's cool. I don't think it's a condition. I don't think it's, thank you so much, Frenchie. I appreciate it. Thank you. So I don't think it's a condition, but some people in the casting world are like, oh, it's an alternative casting. I don't understand why, but it is, whatever. So for example, if there's a casting where it's like, we want someone who looks different that has freckles, I would write in my casting note when I'm submitting for the role, has freckles. So I can, thank you, friend. So I would literally make sure I point out in the casting to the casting associates in my submission that I have what they're looking for. So they know it. So when they're like, oh, we want someone who's ethnically ambiguous, I would write ethnically ambiguous, has freckles, cool. So I'm pointing it out to them. You always want to make things easy for people who are on the other side of the table, or casting, it's an expression on the side of the table, in front of the camera and behind the camera. So you want to make sure it's easy for them to understand, not have to search, because people in casting are always very busy. If you think about it, as an actor or model, we're looking for jobs. And these people are giving us jobs, and they have a problem, which is us. they need to solve the problem and cast actors and models. Hello, Juan. So we have to make sure that we are helping them solve the problem with pointing out things in our resume. Thank you. Lavish, love the name. So we have to make sure we're pointing things out to them in the casting world where it's easy for them to identify us and be like, oh, she's the girl we want, she's the solution to our problem, let's cast her. You want to make things easy, you know? Don't send them a million links when they're only going to watch one of them. If you're going to send them links, put your first link as the most important one that you actually think is going to be the best one that you want to see, like your best work. If you're submitting for an agent or a talent manager, right? You want to write like, okay, I just did this commercial, it's my most recent work, I'm proud of this work. Put that as your first link, because you want to make sure you're presenting your best self, because if they're going through a million different emails, a million different people, they're not going to always read everything. Why? I'll tell you why. So this is a good example. So an audition for acting or a go-see for modeling, you normally do a slate, SLATE, it's called a slate. You can either hold up a piece of paper and you have your name, your phone number, your email, or you normally just say your name and your height and your location, or you say the name and where who your agent is or what the role is. So if I was auditioning for a girl named Megan, I would say Sophia Gutchinov, Megan, 5'1", New York City. It just depends. Every single audition is different. That's why you have to read the directions. It's super important for you to read the directions on every audition that you do. So, yes. Okay, so with the slating is important because when you have an audition and there could be like 1,000 people applying, you don't know how many people are applying. You just don't know. That's not your business. You don't know that. So you want to make sure that your slate at the very beginning of your audition or your go-see or your email submission, whatever it is the strongest. You want to stand out. In the same way that your thumbnail, which is the little mini picture like your avatar on Instagram, is super important, right? So if I'm looking, so many times, like this is a good example. So this is a advertisement for the agency, Latitude, right? So if I have a picture like this on the computer screen, and these are all different headshots of different actors or different models, whichever one of these is gonna stand out to me. So for example, I just put an X there. Can you see it? Just a little thing. Okay, so there's a hole there. I just put that there. So we're not gonna worry about the bullies. Haters gonna hate. We're still gonna do us, okay, guys? Yes. People are jealous. We just gotta let them live their life and pray for them, okay? So, which out of these images, these thumbnails, these stickers, which one of these stands out? In my opinion, this one stands out the most because it has a hole in it and it's weird looking. So, if you have a headshot that is kind of like blasé, you know, it's just like a girl who's just chilling, not really much interesting about her face, then it's not going to stand out. So you need to make sure that your branding is on point. Thank you so much. That your branding, Adrian, that your branding is on point where if your Instagram and your Facebook page and your headshot all should be the same if it's a business thing. So where I can clearly see your face, you know? So here is where we want to stand out, the small thumbnail. These are all really technical things, but they actually matter, and that's when the business of acting and modeling is so important, not just like being a good actor or model. Like the business side is important because this industry is a business and it is to make money for people to buy things, whether you're selling a product, if you're modeling a new skincare thing, if you're modeling earrings, if you're acting in a role. These are very important things you have to think about, and it's honestly it's sometimes even more important than your talent. And a lot of things are not personal in this industry, and you have to understand, you have to be able to separate yourself, and this is pretty hard to do as a human. Separate your personal self from your business self, which is your acting and modeling self, because you are your product, right? As a model and actor, my eyes, my skin, my body, my voice, this is my tool. These are my tools. Whereas if I was, if I owned this serum, this company for skincare, my product is this. It's not me. That's the product. But in this industry, you are your product. So when people say you didn't get the role, cool, on to the next one. You need to have that attitude of, great, it's a numbers game. Just keep going, because you gotta get used to rejection. But honestly, I think the industry really sets people up for a great life experience, because rejection is part of life. I mean, many of you guys have dated. I mean, I don't know who's dating now in the pandemic, but if any of you guys have dated, rejection and numbers game, going on dates, meeting different people is part of life. So you have to adopt the attitude of, it's not personal. I did my best work. Once I did my work, I leave the room, I'm done. And if I got it, cool. If I didn't get it, great. I met somebody, I auditioned for my career, not the role, because there's been times, as I said before in other webinars, where I didn't get the role, but I made a good rapport with the cast director and they called me into another audition and I got that, or I didn't, and they keep updating me. I keep updating in my career. You know, you want to build relationships. The industry is really about relationships, and like, you never know who's following you on your social media, or who's checking up on it. So make sure you post things you actually like would want professionals to be looking at, like people in casting, right? Do you need to be in New York to get signed with Latitude? Great question. You should contact Latitude themselves to do that, because I just do the web. I'm not in charge of the recruitment. Okay, so alternative modeling. I want to keep going. If you have any more questions, please write them down. And did not forget about the scheduling. I'm actually doing that right now. How do you know if an agency is legit? I'll write that one down. Legit. Question mark. Good question. Very good question. Very important. Okay, so another example besides freckles for the alternative diverse modeling, hello, is, oh, my phone fell again, I'm sorry, is scars, wrinkles, having different colored eyes, being a little person, having a disability. These are all different types of casting that now have been more normalized. Does weight matter? Good question, we'll talk about it. These are all the thing that's been more included, because the industry has been trying to include people that actually are real people now, which is awesome, because not everyone is a size 0, blonde and blue-eyed, and is 5'10". I'm definitely not. Beauty mark, yeah, these are also different things that can be added. So for example, I'm 5'1", and I'm not a size 0. And I still get cast because I present my best self, and I see which companies want to have people that look different. I'm also mixed, I'm biracial. So that's a thing also. Yeah, I know if you ask someone else, oh, she doesn't look that way, whatever. I don't really care what anyone thinks I look like, because I know what I am, in the way that if Halsey is black and white, and she's like, looks white, but she's actually half black, she knows that she's half black, so she identifies as half black and half white and biracial. How the industry sees her is a different story, but that's how she is. Okay, I'm gonna address that question right now. Petite. Petite, it means that you're not that tall. I'm petite, I'm 5'1". Cool. There's an announcement, I look taller. Nope, I'm 5'1", I'm the same height as Ruth Bader Ginsburg, rest in peace, and Lady Gaga. Yes. So, petite is actually considered, thank you, Fran. Petite is considered 5'7" and below. So I am petite. 5'7" is not too short to do runway, Adrian, but petite is 5'7" and below. America's Next Top Model used to have a whole season called, thank you so much, love you, Ari. Petite, they had a whole season about petite. All the models were, you know, not that tall. But anything above petite, above 5'7", is considered runway. But I don't really think runway is even happening because of the virus right now. But you know, you want to read about what's happening in the industry. For example, thank you for all the hearts, I love them. For example, you want to be reading up on the industry. I get 1 million emails every day. I hate emails, but at the same time I read them because they're keeping me informed. Yes, I watched that season 2. I love Tyra Banks. We were all rooting for you, right? Okay, so read your emails, sign up for email blasts. For example, you know, you can read The Hollywood Reporter, you can read Deadline. These are publications that are good, that are reputable, and that talk about what's going on in the industry. For example, right now in the industry, there's an app called Clubhouse that celebrities are actually known to be on. It's only audio and it's not recorded, so people just feel like they need to talk off the cuff and they talk about what's going on. You know, and it's cool. I actually had to register, I got a link. It's only invite only, but it's becoming more mainstream. It's been around for about 2 years. I'm still learning about it. I haven't made my profile yet, but there's different things happening in the industry with the new virtual lifestyle. You know how to use Zoom, get on that. There's also different ones called Blue Jeans. There's Google Meetups. Hangouts, Skype is still a thing, I don't know, FaceTime, WhatsApp audio, WhatsApp video, Facebook Messenger videos, many different things that are changing the industry. And if you get an audition that's online, like tomorrow I have a Zoom audition, and then I have an audition with another app that I've never even used, you want to make sure you're well acclimated to it, so that when it's your time, you're not like freaking out and being like, I have technical issues, because no one's going to care, hello, no one's going to care if you have technical issues. They don't have time for that. On to the next one who actually isn't having technical issues. The industry is cutthroat, and be ready. You got to be ready. You got to stay strong. You got to do your meditation. You got to drink your water. You got to eat healthy, whatever's good for your mind. You know, do whatever you need to do so that you don't like collapse, because the industry is going to be hard. You have to make sure that you're like, all right, it's not personal. I'm taking a day off, whatever. Something I have to work on, but okay. So freckles, scars, wrinkles. Okay, tattoos. Great topic. Tattoos, do you have to have any experience? No. Tattoos are a thing that have become more mainstream, where certain casting I've seen have actually been looking for people who are alternative. For example, if you're in New York, the Bushwick look, Williamsburg look, the hippie look, you know? So people sometimes are looking for people who have sleeves. What's a sleeve? A sleeve is someone who has tattoos all on their arm. So that's a thing that's been more mainstream. Like, it depends on the ad. Stretch marks, another great one. Stretch marks, yes. Oh my God, thank you so much. I don't know what you're saying. So piercings, another one. Like, for example, if you're submitting to a modeling or acting agency and they happen to sign you or freelance you, freelance just means they're not going to sign you, but they're still working for you. It's like you're dating, but you're not exclusive. Signing is like, we're married, cool, for like 2 years. Piercings, you know, piercings are different because you can remove them. Like, I can take this out and it's fine. You really can't, you know, model for a jewelry company that are for earrings if you don't have your ears pierced. So don't try and go out for it. You know, just use common sense. But alternative, like nose piercing, people want these different types of looks. It's become more cool, urban look, you know, and that's a great thing because I think everybody should be included. I think everybody should be able to see themselves on the TV or on the ads when they see it. Because I still have yet to see someone who's mixed at the Oscars who's being nominated, and I personally want to change that. You know, I want like the little girls and boys who are growing up in the next few years being able to see themselves on the camera on TV and not just seeing like, you know, white people. That's a problem. You know, that's not showing the diversity of the world we live in, like especially in New York. New York is so diverse. We need to see all different types of people. We need to see Bengali people. We need to see Indian people. We need to see black people. We need to see Asian people. We need to see white people. We need to see everybody. And that's the thing that needs to be changed. And that's why I'm talking about this topic, because it's very important. So piercings, yeah. Okay, weight. Weight is a topic that's kind of sensitive, you know, because everyone's like, oh my God, I should be thinner. Oh my God, I should not be thinner. Okay, so you need to protect yourself. I have like not been skinny my entire life. Then I did keto for 10 months. Worst decision of my life. I don't recommend doing these drastic scarcity type diets, juice cleanses, whatever. I've done it all, okay? And I'm telling you right now, you're never gonna be happy if you're always looking for outside validation by having a smaller thigh. Nope, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm straight up. And I'm telling you, like, if you're looking to be happy, happiness is gonna come from within. And if you want thinner thighs to be happy, you're looking in the wrong places. You need to write down and start journaling and being like, why do I want thinner thighs? You know what I'm saying? So you wanna find your happiness from within, and you wanna realize that no, you don't have to be a size 0. No, you don't have to have white skin. No, you don't have to have blue eyes, big blue eyes to be famous or to have a successful modeling or acting career. You can look like me and have a successful career. You can look like Susan Boyle for all we know. You know, it just depends on whatever it is. So I'm gonna talk about different sides because it is important. So in the modeling and acting industry, I still get kind of upset about this, but this is a thing that you should be aware about. They can ask you for your weight. Now listen, you don't have to tell the truth. I'm not telling you to say you weigh 50 pounds lighter because it's gonna be like, wait, what? You wanna put your weight as if you look. So for example, me, I'm petite, I'm small, but I'm not skinny. I have like some curves. I also work out and lift weights. So I'm not gonna be like this little like, you know, scrawny runway model. Not that runway models are scrawny, but a lot of them are size 0. So they don't like, they're like Victoria's Secret models. They don't have a lot of meat on their bones, which is the reason why Victoria's Secret fashion show was canceled. Not canceled on social media, it literally was canceled. They're not having the fashion show ever again because it literally made women get bulimic and anorexic. And they're like, oh my God, I don't look like that. Which is unhealthy because the industry, the company has been, you know, talked down about because they only have girls who are one size and it's not representational of women in the world. And it's like, that's not okay, you know? So we need to change that and include everybody. So, what is considered plus size? So this, yes, really, look it up. So what is considered plus size? This is a question that I don't really have an answer for. I wish I did, I don't. I feel like the plus size thing is always changing based on the industry. Like right now, it seems like people want people to like be curvy. And then like a few years ago, yes, Savage Fenty. That's a great topic. I love that you brought that up. Thank you. Now, like it used to be like, oh, she has to be fit, but she has to have a really small waist and big breasts and a big booty. And it's like, I don't understand this. Like, nothing you can ever do is good enough. So what you have to do is just be yourself and accept the way your body is and be like, okay, if I want to do this, I want to do this for me, not for anybody else. Okay? Drake has a lyric. I love Drake. He says, oh, you're going on the treadmill or something, you lost 10 pounds for me, but I don't even notice, it's for yourself. I don't know what he says, but it's funny because he's like talking about how like we do things for ourselves, we say it's for other people, and if you would do something for other people, it's not gonna work for yourself. So do things for yourself, okay? Oh my God, thank you. So plus size, I think it's always changing, but I think it's considered a size 6 and up, 6 to 8 and up, which is crazy because in my opinion, 6 is not plus size, it's just normal. But actually the average woman in America is like a size 12 to 14. So it's not even average, which is crazy because the average of America isn't even represented on the TV and the ads and commercials. So I'm just like, what? This is why we need to change that, but that's another topic. So plus size, petite, piercings, tattoos, freckles, scars, weirdness, whatever. One thumb. Here's a fun fact. I have Megan Fox thumbs. What does that mean? That means my thumbs are small. Now, why are they like this? I don't know. I was born like this. They're kind of cute. It's really hard for me to type though, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I type and text somebody, write an email, I'm always making typos. It's super annoying. I gotta read my email like 10 times. I'm like, oh, I totally spelled that wrong. My autocorrect's going crazy. My autocorrect's like, what's she saying? I'm like, I don't know, my thumbs are going crazy. So, I have small thumbs. That's an alternative modeling. That's a thing I can put on my resume if I wanted to, you know? But if I'm submitting for an agency and they accept me to freelance or sign, I gotta tell them, yo, I got some small thumbs. I got a beauty mark. I got a tattoo. I have scars. I broke my leg and now I got 2 new scars on my left ankle because I now have titanium in it. So you gotta say these things, you know, you gotta be honest. And it's not gonna prevent you from going places. It might actually get you places in your career. Being different is cool and everybody is unique and their own person. Oscar Wilde has a quote that I say like every time I'm on the webinar. It's like, be yourself because everyone else is taken, but it's serious, you know? Okay, I wanna talk about the questions that you guys asked and reschedule. Okay, so if you have an audition, you have to reschedule it. No problem. I actually have an audition right now, tomorrow, that is actually on top of the other audition that I have. I have an audition from my agent for a commercial at 10:45 in the morning, and I have a meeting with casting directors to do a monologue at 11 a.m. Now, let's think about that. Will I be able to do both? Maybe. Is there a risk that I won't be able to? Of course. Do I want to take that risk? No, of course not. Why would I do that? So I need to change it. So I've been emailing my agent. I'm like, yo, I have another thing at 11 a.m. Can I get an earlier time slot? Can I get a later time slot? They're like, can you do 12:30? And I'm like, I don't know because I might have the other audition still because I'm waiting in a room. You know, you got to prepare yourself. You got to plan enough. I know you have to plan enough time between different like auditions, even if they're just online. They're not overlapping, and you're like, oh, I missed that one. It makes you look bad. You got to know time management. You got to do all these crazy things. You got to learn those things. But that comes with practice. Whatever. If you don't have any alternative features, that's not a bad thing. Of course not. But I'm sure you do because everyone's different in their own way. Okay? Nothing is a bad thing. You are the way you are and you're beautiful the way you are. And if the industry can't see that, then you'll make them see that by you'll changing the industry. For example, Amy Schumer, Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish. All these people are not skinny. They got different personalities. What did? They wrote their own work. They created their own work. They're like, okay, you don't want to cast me because I'm not a size 0. I'll cast myself. That's what I do. I make my own work and it's working out and I present to people and people enjoy it and that's cool. Remember, you don't need someone else to hire you to make your own art. You can make your own art yourself. And when you make your own art, I did a whole webinar on this, you can check it on YouTube. When you make your own art, you'll never be more empowered in your whole life. Just saying. Okay. Yes, of course you can do modeling in another part of the world. Okay, so legit. How is an agency legit and how do you know? Great question. You got to be careful. I don't know why, but in this industry, a lot of people want to scam you because they know you're vulnerable. Not like actors and models have a lot of money. No, because they know that people are looking to get discovered, to get seen. And they're like, oh, I can help them. Let me offer them this, but they have to spend all this money. And it's like, what? No. So, there is a website called Up to Date Theatrical, just like it sounds. I have been using it for years. I know the owner, she's my acting business coach, she's amazing, Annie Chadwick. I think if you use my name, Sophia Gutchinov, I think you get like a month off, I'm not sure. But it's a database that's online where you can look at acting, modeling agencies, you can look at managers, all those things. and you can see if they're legit. They also should be franchised if they're an agency, excuse me. If they are a manager, they might not be franchised because not all managers have to be franchised. What you need to do is you need to get in the habit in your life of looking up reviews before you go meet somebody. So for example, if you're going to a car rental place in Miami, this is a specific example that happened in real life in December. Okay, so if you're going to Miami and you need to get a car rental, let's think about it. Am I gonna go online? Probably. Am I gonna see one? Cool. Let's look at the prices. Oh, significantly cheaper. Red flag? Maybe. Let's find out. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Car rental reviews. They took my credit card. They stole my money. There was no one there. It was a scam. Don't use it. Would you use that company? I hope not. People still do it because they're naive and they don't want to look at reviews. Never be afraid to look at reviews. I have a micro following on Instagram, whatever you want to call it. You can follow me. And if a company contacts me to be a brand ambassador or to be an influencer, and they're going to send me free products, or they want me to pay for shipping, and I have to buy the products, and they're giving me a discount, whatever. Yes, Petey. I'm going to look up reviews. So I have a thing where I literally go online and I look up the company's name and I look up reviews, or I go on a URL scanner and I look up the company and I say, is this company legit? Do they have a report of the Better Business Bureau? You know, you want to make sure you're being careful. Also, if you're going to buy anything online for a company, I don't really suggest it, but if you are, use a credit card, don't use a debit card, because credit card authorizations are protected by the company. Hopefully, if you have that on your credit card, find out. If you get a bad feeling, trust your gut always trust your gut. Frenchie, it really just depends on where the industry is. Just submit yourself, you know? Okay, so let me see anything else I wanted to say. I'm gonna wrap it up. 1 second. Anything that makes you stand out. I talked about that. Ethnicities. So how to get into the industry. I have a lot. Hello, Jamie. I have a lot of other videos about how to get into the modeling and acting industry and being professional about it. But you know, right now it's a little weird because like we're in a pandemic and you can't really like go to an audition or go to a photo shoot as often maybe as you would. So I for example would suggest if you're starting out to like take some photos of yourself, have a friend take photo. If you don't feel comfortable, they could wear a mask, whatever, get tested, however you want to do it. But you can also just take photos on your phone, or your camera, where you can do a self-timer and you can set it to like 3 seconds or 10 seconds. And you could just like put on makeup, put on a nice outfit, learn your angles. And you don't even have to have anybody like see these photos. It could just be for yourself, for you to get to know your angles, for you to get to know like what side's better, for you to get to know what clothes compliment you, what colors compliment you, whatever it is. Okay, for example, alternative casting. There used to be an agency called Ugly New York. It's now rebranded. No, we're not going to drink rubbing alcohol, and we're also not going to inject bleach. Das Gas 417. Okay. Hello, Shanit. So there's an agency called Funny Face. They did a lot of alternative casting. Ugly New York. It literally was called Ugly New York. Doesn't mean the people that on there were ugly, just that they were different looking, But I don't really know which industries are even looking for people nowadays or which industries still exist because so many people have gone out of business because of the virus. So before you contact companies, email them, call them, see, hey, how would you like for us to be submitted? Contact Latitude. Can I set up a meeting in person? Can I set up a meeting on Zoom? However you do it. Let's see what else. I have a question. Okay, so you want to put yourself out there, go live on Instagram, create a TikTok account, get viral videos, create your own content, YouTube, Twitter. All these things are different platforms. Twitch is a new one that I'm not on. People are always want to get on it. I haven't been on it yet. That's a great platform for you to create your own work, get seen, build a following, build an audience, all these things. Okay, also very important, even though I did encourage everyone about their sizes and different looks, you do want to think twice if you are in the industry where your tool is your body to do a body modification. So for example, if I'm going to get a septum piercing, specific example, I would get it maybe because I could tuck it under my nose so that it wouldn't be seen. So I can go to auditions where it was like a girl next door type role, not an alternative hipster tattoos motorcycle role, and I could tuck it where no one can know I have it. That's a good piercing to get because no one would see it and you could tuck it. It's also a piercing so you can remove it as opposed to a tattoo where it's permanent. So I don't really recommend getting a tattoo on your forehead. Even a neck tattoo, that's hard because your neck is really constantly being seen. You know, it just depends on what you want. Remember, the industry has changed, it is different, but if you are going to do something to your body, make sure you think about it twice, because we are in a time and a place where your body and your tool and your face is your product. So make sure you think about what you're doing to your body in terms of your casting, if you're going to dye your hair, whatever, all these things. Okay, I don't have any other questions. Anything else to say? If you guys have any other questions, please let me know. I'll give you like 1 more minute. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. I know it's a crazy time. Drink your water. You know, I recommend meditating. You can look up some YouTube videos. I do a meditation. I can give you a code, whatever. If you're moving to New York City and you're not in New York at the moment, can you still apply? Wow, September is a long time away and the world's constantly changing. I don't see why not. I mean, set yourself up for success. Do it now. How can you attend photo shoots? How can you get signed? Look up the video about getting an agent on YouTube on Latitude. I had a whole video about that. Best time and way to look for an acting agent, and does Corona affect this? Corona affects everything. Yes, unfortunately. There really is no best time. Pilot season doesn't even exist anymore because of the, lack of shooting. There's not really a timeline anymore. There used to be a timeline, but there really never really was a timeline for acting and modeling in the industry because things are happening at all times. Sometimes the summer is a little slower because people go on vacation, but the summer might be even busier this year because maybe the summer will be better when it comes to like people getting vaccinated and being on set and not wearing masks, if we can stop doing that. I don't know. I can't predict the future. So that's it. I have nothing else to say. Thank you for tuning in. Much love. Stay positive. Keep your head up. Take care of yourself. Make sure you're, not going crazy in the way that we can't go crazy right now in the pandemic that's still happening. If you have any questions, contact Latitude. You can follow me on the gram. My username will be posted on a story that I'm posting right now on Latitude. My name is Sophia Gutchinov. It's a long name, I know, but you'll see me. Okay, if you have any more questions, email Latitude and I'll address them on my next webinar. Bye, guys. Thank you.